Trump warned protesting players and they didn't listen, so look what he just took from all of them. The NFL players who are protesting the national anthem probably think that there's safety in numbers and that the social justice warriors will always jump up and defend them. They probably think that the only thing they're actually risking is a little short-term bad press, especially considering that 200 players took place in the protests over the weekend. The only problem with that theory is that their value to their team and their league is only in as much as they bring in money. It was all fun and games when people were watching the games just to see who would stand and who would kneel. Now though, not only does the NFL stand to lose hundreds of millions of dollars because of the plummeting ratings, but they could lose federal funding. One fun little thing that most of us don't talk about is the fact that the NFL gets over $1 billion, that's with a B, let that sink in taxpayer-funded federal subsidies, and now that the players have told President Trump what they think of him, all of that is in jeopardy. Stuart Varney, who is a British-American economic pundit who works for the Fox News channel and the Fox Business Network, explained all of this to those of us who don't spend our time poring over the tax code for a living. Stuart Varney, who is a British-American economic pundit who works for the Fox News channel and the Fox Business Network, explained all of this to those of us who don't spend our time poring over the tax code for a living. Via the Gateway Pundit. Stuart Varney joined Fox and Friends on Monday to discuss the NFL national anthem controversy. On Sunday, over 200 NFL players and staff knelt down in protest during the national anthem. Varney reminded the Fox and Friends hosts that NFL stadiums have collected over $1 billion in federal subsidies. Stuart Varney, there's $1.1 billion in direct subsidies from taxpayers to the NFL. Taxpayer subsidies go to the building of stadiums. There have been 20 new NFL stadiums since 1997. All of them have received a degree of taxpayer subsidies. According to Fox Sports, over the last 20 years, the American public has spent more than $7 billion to build or renovate NFL stadiums, taking on 46% of the total costs of those projects. It's time to cut them off. Fox and Friends. Varney, NFL stadiums have collected over $1 billion in federal subsidies. My message to the NFL is don't bite the hand that feeds you. Well, how about that? It turns out that there's even more that the government and taxpayers do for those players than just show up at their games and buy their overpriced jerseys. Apparently, our hard-earned tax dollars are going to help out with those stadiums that we only get to enter when we pay an additional fee. There are about to be a lot of players that find out just how disposable they are after the NFL gets a look at their yearly bottom line with those subsidies and minus the hundreds of millions that they'll lose from advertisers. There was at least the possibility that the league would be able to pull this together before the players started pointedly objecting to President Trump supporting the anthem and the flag. While his statements may have been rather pointed, so were their protests, and these players do need to be reminded of their place. And in case you were unclear about the president's position on the subject, he might have slid a little Easter egg in to show us exactly what he thinks. BizPac Review reported on the incident in question. Did he or didn't he? That's the question that exploded on social media after President Trump appeared to furtively flip the bird while discussing New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Kraft had criticized the president's stance that NFL players should not disrespect the national anthem or the American flag. "I am deeply disappointed by the tone of the comments made by the president," Kraft said in a statement, where he called Trump's remarks divisive. "Not all that unusual for someone to disagree with the president. That's pretty much the liberals' bread and butter, but what President Trump did in response might tell us what he thinks about it." When asked about Kraft's remarks on Sunday, Trump doubled down on his original position. "I think it's very disrespectful to our country, to not stand for the anthem," he said. "I think it's very disrespectful to our flag." While making the statement, Trump used his middle finger to sweep back his hair, triggering leftist snowflakes who swore the president flipped the bird on camera. Mind you, these are the same psychos who wear vagina hats and tampon earrings as they riot and smash windows. You can decide whether or not you think the president was flipping anyone off, or if that's just an affectation, but regardless, He wasn't happy with the team owner's sentiments. Perhaps if we can't get the players to respect the anthem, we should put the national back in the National Football League and make it all ex-military members. Maybe that could be a perk of joining the military. You're eligible to play for the NFL after you get out. You can bet that this problem would go away one way or another. Either the current players would mind their manners, or the new ones we get would know what to do when the anthem plays. Win-win. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.